in a winter car kit, what should we carry in a car in the winter? An old cell phone and a charger. Your carriers are required to be able to keep the 911 coverage on your old phone. So if you have an old phone, put it in a glove box, put it in a plastic bag with the charger so you can plug it in and charge it. If something happens and your other phone is dead or what have you, maybe you got something that'll work. Full tank of gas. That's pretty self-explanatory. Try to keep the tank full. It's easier to run on the top as it is the bottom. Keep bottles of water in a small cooler in the trunk to keep them from freezing. Keep them in the cooler. Keeps them warm instead of cold like it would in the summer. Works just the same. And they recommend non-perishable, high-calorie foods, energy bars, dried fruit, granola, and rotate that every few weeks so that something happens, you have something to eat. Of course, a sleeping bag, a winter weight, they want something heavy in case you got to spend the night in the car, which wouldn't be fun, but then worse. Additional winter clothing, boots, hats, gloves, scarves, pretty much self-explanatory there. They recommend an LED flashlight because an LED flashlight uses less of the battery and it'll last longer. And most of them are bright enough they're visible for a lot longer distances. A bag of sand, a tow rope, a shovel, and if you are in the car and you leave the car running, crack the window so you don't get carbon monoxide. Star 55. I don't know if everybody knows this, but it's emergency assistance monitored by the Highway Patrol. And when you call, please know where you're at. The old oak tree down the road doesn't do much good for anybody. But you'd be surprised. I'm on the fire department in Centralia, and there was a call last night. It was an accident on 22 and Route B, which turned out to be 22 and 63, which is 8 miles apart. So it really didn't do any good to call us out because they'd turn around and call somebody else, and that just takes that much more time to get somebody to help you. But and explain the nature of the problem that you're having. I actually was coming back from New York this last summer, and my sister-in-law was in the car, and there was a tire cap that come off a tire in the middle of the road, and people were swerving to avoid it. She called Star 55, and we got down the road about a half a mile. She knew the mile marker. She knew where it was at. It was on the middle of a bridge in St. Charles, and we met a trooper coming the other way, running lights and siren, more than likely trying to get that out of the road to keep somebody from having an accident. Oh, the good old flat tire. Everybody wants to know how to change a flat tire and what to do. Of course, you use your flashers, pull over in a safe spot, find some place that's level, off of the roadway, so that you can work and not your potential to get run over is enough. Try to get out of the way if you can. And the owner's manual is going to be your best friend here because different vehicles want the jack in different places. The jack, the spare, are in different places in different cars. I can't sit here and tell you, well, you look in the trunk, it's in the left side or the right side, because that's not the case anymore. And you want to loosen the lug nuts before you jack the car up because it makes it a whole lot easier. And set the emergency brake. And there are several YouTube videos if you care to look. Martha Stewart even has a video to change a flat tire. I just typed in how to change a flat tire on a car and I found 36,000 results. So if you get bored, nothing else to do, just go right ahead. But new cars and flats. You need to look at your owner's manual for the location, but 4 out of 10 new cars do not have a flat spare tire anymore. And there's talk of eliminating the spare tire because of weight. The spare tire weighs 25 pounds, and that'll give you a little bit more gas mileage over the life of the vehicle. So they're talking about taking it away. But now the first time you have a flat and you have to call a tow truck, well, you're going to lose all you gain. But anyway, that's beside the point. Jump starting, see owner's manual for locations because the batteries are all over these cars anymore. The red's positive, it's hooked to the positive. A lot of cars under the hood, you'll find a red cap that you flip up and put jumper cables on. It depends on the car. Negative is black. Just owner's manual is your best friend. Winter driving tips. Stay alert, slow down, and stay in control. That's a lot easier said than done some days. But recommended to reduce the speed to about half of the posted speed limit. Slow down 3 times faster than you normally do to give you time in case you can't stop, to give you more time to stop. Avoid spinning the tires, gentle on the gas. And beware of shaded areas because you might have black ice, the sun in places. Bridges and overpasses, of course, we all know they freeze quicker. And if you really get bored, YouTube has a lot of videos for this too. But you're stranded on the side of the road somewhere. Open the hood. That's pretty much a given. People know if the hood's up, somebody needs help. And stay in the car with the windows mostly up. I ain't gonna tell you to roll them all the way up in the middle of summer because you'll cook. But if you feel unsafe, roll them up, lock the doors till somebody comes that you feel safe, and call a tow truck or somebody to come. Parking lot safety. The little red button on your remote that sets off the lights and the horn honking. If there's somebody around that's, you feel insecure, you can push that. A lot of times stuff like people will A, leave you alone, or B, the people notice and you won't have less issues. But stay alert, pay attention to what's around you, park in lighted areas, and keep those keys with that remote handy in case you need to. And when you get to the car, you can unlock the car and get in it quicker. And the wipers, I don't know if everybody knows, but Missouri law requires that the wipers are on, the lights need to be on, so you can see better. This is another tip that I come across. There's a lot of people that are sleeping with their keys beside their bedroom table, and if there's noise or something outside that scares them, they'll push that little red button and the car will go off for a little while, and hopefully anything that was out there decides to go someplace else. Cruise control. Do not use the cruise control in wet or icy conditions. The newer cars have adaptive cruise control. And it senses the distance between you and the car in front of you, and it actually slows the car down to keep a certain distance. And the driver can set this in 2 or 3 or 4 seconds behind the car in front of you. And it's always paired with a pre-crash system that alerts you of impending crash. Some of them will have lights. Some of your trucks will have a vibrator in the seat. There's all kinds of different ones out there. And this is a crucial part of a self-driving car. That Google's got their self-driving car, and it's already crashed. So what I'm trying to say is all this stuff, you gotta use a little common sense because it will not always save you. I will never forget a story when the Ford trucks first come out with the backup beepers and fixed the guy's truck, and he said, "Yeah, this never should have happened." And I said, "Well, why is that?" He said, "Well, my grandson was in there and playing with it, and he pushed the button off, turned it off, and I didn't know it was off, and I backed into something." So, all this stuff works good, but you got to be careful.